Those are 5 different exercises. They're all designed for your chest. Some, I think, are better than others. Hey guys, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I'm going to give you a rating of common chest exercises that guys do at home. Now, if you go to a gym and work out, you got tons more exercises to choose from, so this list doesn't really apply to you guys. But for a vast majority of the guys watching right now, you probably work out at home and all you have are dumbbells and resistance bands. So here is a list of 5 exercises, very common chest exercises that we do at home, and I'm going to rate them from worst to best. All right, the worst one you can do, and this doesn't mean it's bad, it just means there's a lot better options. All right, the worst one is the old dumbbell pullover. That's where you're laying on your back on a bench and you have the dumbbell way over here and you just pull it over. So a lot of guys think that is a good chest exercise, but it's not really. It's really targeting your lats. It's more of a back exercise than chest exercise. There's just way more options that are far better that target your pecs much better. So why waste your time with that one? All right, so number 2, and this is the second worst exercise for your chest that most guys do at home, is push-ups. Now that might surprise you, but remember guys, the best rep range for building muscle is 8 to 12 reps. And that means it's got to be done with intensity. It means when you get to that 8th, 10th, 12th rep, you need to be near failure. But for a lot of guys, doing 8 or 10 push-ups just isn't nearly tough enough. They're not anywhere near failure. So hence, they're not really building their chest, all right? Now, this is actually a really good exercise for beginners. All right, so I wouldn't call this the second worst if you're a beginner, because for beginners, doing 8 or 9 push-ups is really, really tough. You're pushing your chest to fatigue. All right, so it kind of depends where you are in the fitness spectrum. All right, so we're kind of in the middle range here, number 3, and that would be a dumbbell fly. All right, you're laying on your bench at home and you got some dumbbells and you're going out like this. The reason I didn't put this higher or more important is because of physics. All right, so what happens is when you do the fly movement, when you're out here, of course I would be laying flat, this is where you have the full resistance of the dumbbell, and that's great because you're getting a great stretch here. But the problem is, as you start to bring the dumbbells forward, you have less and less weight dumbbells pulling on your chest or trying to pull your arms apart. And it's just due to physics, nothing else. That's why when you're at the gym, doing this movement with the cable crossover machine is great, because you have the same resistance here with the cable machine as you do here. When you're here, those cables are really trying to pull your hands apart. You're having to resist. But when you're laying on your back with dumbbells and you bring them up to here, you've got almost no resistance trying to pull your arms apart, and hence your chest muscles are just not engaged all that much. All right, so this is exercise number 4, which means we're getting towards the best. The higher the number, the better the exercise for your chest. This is a resistance band fly. So why is this better than a dumbbell fly? Well, due to physics. So when you have resistance bands, all right, and you're pulling your hands together like this, you're stretching the band. You're actually creating more resistance as you bring your hands together. Now, most guys typically have just one resistance band set, all right, a set of bands, which means you just have one anchor point directly behind you. The problem is, when you're doing it this way, you have a lot of resistance here, but as you bring your hands together, the bands are coming back down your arm towards the anchor directly behind you. Now it feels like a dumbbell fly, right? The way to fix this and make it a fantastic chest exercise is to buy 2 sets of bands, which means you get 2 anchors. Now you got to put 2 anchor points behind you, but not right behind you. You need to spread them out 6, 8, 10 feet apart. Fantastic exercise. Very similar to going to the gym and using those cable crossover machines that cost, $3,000, $4,000. And the fifth and final exercise we're going to discuss today is a dumbbell bench press, all right? The reason I like these is because you get a great stretch at the bottom of the movement, all right? That's where you're really activating a ton of muscle fibers, you know, at their most stretched position, all right? Also, you can go out and buy any weight dumbbells you want. So if you don't have heavy enough dumbbells, you can just buy another pair, right? Or those adjustable dumbbells are great, all right? But you can really load up the weight with this, especially if you have a bench. You get a great range of motion because your elbows will go behind your back, okay? And boom, great stretch. Now, if you're doing it on the floor, your elbows go just parallel with your back and you don't get nearly the stretch, all right? But I've shown you guys in other videos how you can put pillows behind your back. That'll raise your torso up and give you that better range of motion. The bench is the best way. But if you're doing dumbbell presses, okay, you can get some fantastic pumps in your chest. And another thing that's great about it is you can raise the back of the bench and you can do incline dumbbell presses, which start to target not just the lower pecs, but also the upper and lower pecs. All right, so just to wrap it up, guys, those are 5 different exercises. They're all designed for your chest. Some, I think, are better than others. So it doesn't mean you should totally avoid the worst of the chest exercises. It just means that you should put more emphasis on the better chest exercises. And remember, guys, like I always say, you got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.